The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everybody, this is Josh Ellsworth with Stahl's CAD-CUT Direct, and thanks for logging on today for our Great Garment Graphics webinar on unlocking the potential of the ultimate heat transfer material, Stahl's CAD-CUT Premium Plus. Today we have a lot of exciting things planned, and we have a really great turnout. I see a lot of familiar names and a lot of new names who maybe haven't attended a webinar before but are attending now. To see this new product in action. We have a lot of hype around it, and here at Stahl's we've worked on this product for some time. It's been in development for just over a year and a half, and the reason why is we've been dialing in the features of CAD-CUT Premium Plus. And one of the things that I want to make clear up front, in order to utilize this particular material, it is a CAD-CUT heat transfer vinyl heat applied film material. You need to have a vinyl cutter and a heat press. And this particular material you cut in a mirror image, weed away the excess, and then heat apply it onto your garments. And you achieve multiple color looks by stacking designs one on another. So many of you are familiar with this. Some of you that don't have a vinyl cutter, you can get them from anywhere from $500 up to $2,000 and start custom cutting your own graphics. And there's a wide range of heat applied films within the Stahl's lineup and from other companies on the market, and we're really going to aim to show you the value of CAD-CUT Premium Plus in this two-part series. So the first thing is, the question we ask is, why did Premium Plus take so long to develop? And the reason why is we wanted this to be the best heat-applied film in the world. So what exactly does that mean? Basically, when you look at heat-applied films, there's a lot of good features to a lot of different materials out there on the market, such as ability to weed easily, ability to apply fast, or something that looks and feels soft on the garments. And so we weren't willing to settle at all with Premium Plus, and we looked at it and tried to dial it in to be the ultimate product. So there were probably about 10 different versions that we engineered of this, each of them taking it through the paces with cutting, weeding, heat application, and then making little tweaks in the manufacturing process to try to get this to be the best possible product. Before I go to the next slide, something I should mention is I have the question box popped up on the side of my screen. You can't see it, but I can, and Nicole can, who's helping to facilitate the webinar. So if you have a question throughout the session, be sure to type in the question. It'll come directly to me, and we'll try to get to them all. And first question came in, yes, Premium Plus will be at the Indianapolis show on Friday. I won't be there personally, but the material will be there. What would the best heat-applied film in the world look like? So we talked about some of the features that we looked for, but really, what does it mean to your customers? How can you sell more heat-applied film? What does this product look like? And well, it comes down to what your customers want. So what do your customers desire out of heat-applied film? The product that you've been showing today, what's the feedback that you've gotten on it? What do they want out of a heat-applied material? We've taken your feedback and rolled that all into this material. So the first feature I want to talk about with Premium Plus is its finish. What we've received is basically feedback that people want something softer. You want it more like screen printing. And you also want something that has a matte finish, something that's not glossy or even a semi-glossy, but you want a true matte finish. And that's what your customers want. So what we've dialed in with this particular product is a super soft matte finish. So specifically, technical terms, it's about 85 to 100 microns thick. Do we have materials in the line that are thinner than that? Yes, we do. One of those is superfilm, which a question came in about. Superfilm is about 60 microns thick. The problem is you want your heat-applied film to apply to a vast range of products, and one of the primary products is T-shirts. So we could have made this material ultra-thin, such as 60 microns thick, like superfilm, but the problem that we found, if you go too thin on a material, basically what happens is a cotton garment shrinks when it's laundered, even if it's pre-shrunk. It usually shrinks a little bit, And then on large coverage areas such as numbers or a large design, you get a puckered or a raisin-like effect across the material, across the heat-applied film if it's too thin. For this reason, unless you're using a special application with the super film product, we don't recommend it for cotton garments. But Premium Plus, we've made it a thickness where it works perfectly across cotton, but it's also a thin product. So it's going to be as soft as you can possibly get without getting that raisined or puckered effect when it's laundered. So the feedback that's rolled in on T-shirt forums for those of you that are members there and came across to the webinar, and those of you that have received samples already, the feedback that we've gotten time and time again is that you almost can't even feel it on the garment. People cannot believe how soft this material is. So the next feature that I want to talk about, what else would your customers, what would they expect out of an ultimate heat transfer material? And the answer is super stretch and recovery. So a lot of materials stretch out there, but a lot of them don't come back to the shape that they were. Something that we paid special attention to, especially with the rise in the growth in the synthetic fabric marketplace, such as performance wear. We've all heard of Under Armour, the polyester or the compression garments, and even stuff for like cheer and dance, the stretch fabrics that are out there in the marketplace. You want to have a heat-applied material in your range that stretches and also rebounds. So we have materials in the line that stretch, but usually they're so thin that they don't work for cotton, such as the super film. So this is the best of both worlds. You get the stretch and rebound, so you can use it on all these athletic constructions and stretch fabrics, but you also get something that's thin and soft, so it feels lightweight not only on cotton, but on the performance wear. Something else that may be important to your customers is a material that's lead and phthalate free. And really, if you want to jot down in pen or pencil, CPSIA Certification. That's a government-enforced legislation when you're decorating children's apparel for kids 12 and under, where it is certified for CPSIA regulations, meaning basically it contains a minimal amount of lead or phthalates. And in this case, with this product, it contains no lead or phthalates, which basically means that it's safe for kids. So you can feel comfortable decorating children's garments, and we have the certificates that will be posted online for you that you'll have available to say that, yes, this does meet compliancy, and this is a product that is safe for decorating kids' apparel. Something else that your customers might want. They want it soft, they want it to stretch, they want it to be safe for decorating kids' apparel, but they want a vast color selection. So they don't want to be restricted to 6 color choices or 8 color choices. Sure, you may only stock 6 to 10 colors, but they want to have access to a wide range of colors. With CAD-CUT Premium Plus, it'll just tell you how confident we are in the material. We decided to start by offering it in 40 colors. So there are 40 colors on the shelf currently available for sale. And with this wide color selection, of course, you have all your basic shades, but you also have some university color shades. So you see shades like Texas Orange, or you see a crimson shade that matches the University of Alabama, Crimson Tide. You see Tennessee Orange for the University of Tennessee. You see University Gold or University Purple, which matches LSU colors. So you see a lot of collegiate Pantone matches so that the product has relevance here in the U.S. market where the majority of us are. One of the things I'll talk about later is the fact that the history of Stahls and how we manufacture and sell direct into the U.S. market. A lot of the other heat-applied film brands that you see here in the U.S. are manufactured in Europe by European companies. So really you have a color palette that doesn't translate very well to the U.S. market. Since we're based and headquartered here in the U.S. and actually just outside of Detroit, Michigan, we've taken, with this particular lineup, we've taken colors of popular universities and made it a point to match those and offer them. Also, we've added some fashionable colors. So I'll just jump back a slide. Actually, I'm not even going to do it on a slide. I'll pull up our webpage where you can find the Premium Plus. And if you just go to CAD-CUTdirect.com and you click on the fashion section, you'll see the Premium Plus show up as a selection. When you click on that, this particular screen will come up here. And we'll give it a second for it to load. And basically you see an image of the product. You will get into some of the pricing later, but you can click on this little tab that says Colors. And then it's going to bring up a little swatch of all 40 colors. When you place your first order for this product, when the webinar ends, hint, hint, you'll be able to request a color swatch booklet, which will have a small piece of all 40 colors so you can show your customers the color choices. But, you know, we have neon green, neon orange, all your neon shades. There's metallics in here. There's shades like medium pink or fuchsia, or there's popular shades like apple green that was really popular in our fashion film lineup. So you have all these color choices in one single product line that's good for t-shirts or stretch fabrics. I'm going to go to the next thing, but there are questions rolling in left and right, which I appreciate, so I want to make sure to answer some of these as we go along. Let me back up. There's a lot of questions here. Okay. Question is similar to sport film light, question mark. So there's going to be a lot of questions on how this fits into our product range, and it is a little bit cloudy because, you know, we've had probably about 10 different styles of heat-applied films that we've added to our lineup over the past 20 years, with this being the newest. Customers like yourself get used to certain materials, and oftentimes they don't want to switch to something new. So we're going to continue to carry the products we have had in the lineup. That doesn't mean that some of the features aren't rolled into this one. So in my opinion, I would think this would be a better solution in almost every case over a product like Sport Film Light. That's my opinion. I also think that a product like Fashion Film, this would also be a superior product. So if you're ordering one of those two products today, you may take a really hard look at Premium Plus and think about ordering that instead. Likewise, it's a product that complements thermofilm and thermogrip and some of our other products. It doesn't replace those, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. This particular product in its current state does work with cotton. It works with polyester, lycra, and spandex. That's lab certified for 50 washes on those fabrics. So all of our products we test for durability, and we lab certified this for 50 washes, so the durability is phenomenal. We are in the process right now in our lab of testing adhesion to nylon. So I can't tell you today that we recommend it for nylon. I can tell you that things are looking pretty good for nylon after about 24 washes, but we're going to take it through the complete phases of testing across different nylon fabrics to provide a recommendation there. Let me look down through some of the other questions. This product is in Europe currently. It's under the same branding for those of you watching from overseas. It's called CAD-CUT Premium Plus, and it's available at stalls.de. Also, it will be available from Target Transfers from the UK. Okay, you guys are don't want to get too far ahead. There's a lot of questions. We're going to come back to it. Question did come up I want to address now. Why just in the fashion section? Is there something that will prevent this from being used for performance or other applications? So if you've navigated our website before, we have these little categories where we've set up to try to make it easier or best for recommendations. This one was kind of a tough one to place into a particular category because it kind of transcends all these different categories with the way we've engineered it. So possibly when we do some edits on our website, this will kind of be an all-purpose product or one that's good for a lot of different categories, but right now we had to place it somewhere, so it fell into fashion. That doesn't mean it can't be used on t-shirts and more, sports jerseys, or performance apparel. Okay, so university shades is where we're at. Your customer would want a wide color selection, and if they're from a university, they'd want a university shade. They also want their graphics the way that they are, or they want graphics the way they want them, meaning if there's fine detail in the graphic, you know, they're not willing to change their art to suit your processes. So one of the things with this product is we've made it in a way that you can achieve fine detail. So you see the type of detail in the graphic here. It has a light tack carrier, which we'll talk about more, which basically means if you accidentally peel up a small piece of a letter or a small detail, you can position it back down to the carrier. Now, it doesn't have as tacky of a carrier as some products that you're maybe used to. Anything else with a pressure-sensitive carrier, this is different. It's a light tack carrier, which presents some advantages, and we'll talk about those as we get into the weeding step and some things like that. Your customers also want garments without the heat press box on them. So there's a lot of heat-sensitive fabrics out there in the marketplace, specifically polyesters and nylons. And a lot of materials have a recommended application temperature as 330 degrees, or I can think of transfer products that recommend, 345 to 375. That's a pretty hot temperature. With this particular product, we wanted to make it in a way that the adhesives would stick and stay at lower temperature. So the starting application temperature for this is 300 degrees for 8 seconds. So it's not under the heat for a very long time at all, and it's at a very low temperature. And basically at that temperature, it prevents the glossing up or the heat press box on a lot of these performance fabrics. Now, once again, we've launched this product, but we still are executing some lab tests. We're in the process of setting up to recommend a variable temperature range, which means you possibly would be able to drop this down to 260 or 280 degrees for certain applications where it's very heat-sensitive items. And we'll give recommendations on how much time those would need once we conclude our testing. Also, if for some reason you were running your heat press at 330 degrees all day for thermofilm and you wanted to run this product at the same temperature, we're in the process of recommending an application so you can run your press anywhere from 280 to 350. So that way it's convenient for you and you can accommodate a full range of garments. This is a Stahls exclusive product, so it's only available direct from CAD-CUTdirect.com or Stahls.com. Okay. So ultimately, what your customers are looking for, they want the best possible look, feel, and selection across many styles of garments for their many needs. CAD-CUT Premium Plus, we believe, delivers on everything that your customer would want in a heat-applied film. It's undeniable when you see a sample of this applied that this is phenomenal. At the same token, there's a lot of other products that look great on a garment, but the cost and the time and the production to get them on the garment, as far as the shop's concerned, as far as you're concerned, is just not feasible. So the question is, with Premium Plus, it looks great, it feels great, but what do you want out of a heat-applied film? And that's really what I want to talk about next, is the feature set for you as a shop owner that's going to allow for maximum production efficiency and maximum profit with heat-applied films, and how we think this product stands out above the rest. The first thing I want to talk about is weeding. By far the most time-consuming process, the most time-consuming part of decorating a garment with heat-applied film is the time it takes to weed. Maybe graphic setup for some of you is more difficult, but we can't control that. This is all about weeding. With a lot of the flex materials out there on the market, you have a really high tack carrier, which we've talked about. It's very sticky. With Premium Plus, it's a light tack. So first, when you talk about big areas such as name and number combos, or even just a name, a 2x14-inch name, when you compare weeding of this, you can save about 30 to 50% on time with how easy and how fast this is to weed. It's just so much easier to pull. And to illustrate this, basically, if I was in person, it'd be real easy, because I'd sit there with Premium Plus and have you sit there with another material, and we'd weed them side by side and see who finishes first. When we were training our customer service team to launch this product, we did that exact test. I gave them our top competitor's material while I weeded the Premium Plus. Let's just say I was able to weed my design and press it onto the garment before they completed weeding their piece. And the only way you're really going to believe that this is truly easier, or the easiest to weed over other products on the market, is to try it yourself. So I encourage you to do so. Also, what that light tack carrier does it doesn't stick to you. So some of the large production houses that have previewed this so far, they'll basically cut our 20-inch by, say, 2 yards of material at a time. They'll cut a big sheet, and they'll lay that out on a 2-foot by 6-foot table. And all the pieces will be ganged up and cut on the white material. And the goal is they can weed all of those at one time rather than having to trim them apart before they weed it. So they weed all the designs, which makes it easier to trim them apart. But the problem in the past is as you're weeding that and you're placing your arm down, if you've ever weeded that large of a piece, the material is constantly sticking to your arm, or your little scrap pieces are constantly being pulled back onto the material, and you're having to pick them up 2 or 3 times. With this material, with that light tack carrier, which makes all the difference, it's not going to stick to you at all. I can place my whole arm on top of the material and lift it up, and it won't lift the material. However, it still is tacky enough where you can position letters back down if you actually accidentally peel them up on the corner. Likewise, that low tack carrier, light tack carrier positions another advantage, the ability to stack designs. So this is stacking designs one on another if you're weeding them and creating and getting them ready. This is if you're doing a lot of orders, being able to take a design and position it to a work order. In the photo here, you see where we positioned a pre-cut design just on a piece of paper. I can lift it from that paper, or even a tissue for that matter, without it tearing it, which is a huge advantage in the production process, and we got that feedback from a lot of our larger users. Materials that were sticky were picking up too much debris throughout the shop on the production floor, and they were also too complicated to work with and match to a work order without having to spend money on an extra backer for the material and spend extra time separating that backer at the heat press. Okay, so I'm just glancing down through the questions. I just want to make sure I'm trying to keep up the speed. Foil will not adhere to CAD-CUT Premium Plus. Let's see. It will not work with the CCH2O process like Superfilm. The product is 85 to 100 microns thick. A person here says similar to EasyWeed. Yes, this is probably similar to EasyWeed. I'd say softer, and also the difference in the carrier. One lady that tried it here wanted to know if there's any tricks to cutting this. So one thing that I'll tell you is this is a stretchable material, as we spoke about. So you're going to have to cut it with a little more downforce than you normally would on a standard heat-applied film that doesn't stretch. And this is so you can get clean cuts throughout the design and accurate corners. So you want to make sure you have your blade dialed in at about 1/2 of a credit card thickness. And even though it's a thin material, you may have to increase your downforce up to be able to cut this more than what you're used to for other thin films. So that's just a tip there to cutting it and getting accurate cuts. Okay. Do you have to be careful of this moving around on the garment before pressing? Good question. The light tack carrier seems to be enough in all of my testing where it will position and stay on a garment, even if you're using a draw press or a swing away press where you're actually sliding something over the design before you press it. Okay, some of the other questions that are asked that I haven't answered, it's because we're going to get to them here momentarily. Okay. So that's all about weeding and convenience with stacking designs and preparing the designs for application, and I think that's a real advantage to you as a shop owner. The next thing is, how about the speed to heat apply? We talked about the temperature range to heat apply. How about the speed? With this particular material, you can apply a single color design in just 8 seconds. If you compare this to a lot of the other products on the market, excluding thermofilm, which has always been 6 to 8 seconds, they recommend anywhere from 10 to 20, with a lot of them being 15 to 20 seconds. So literally, if you have a material that you take 15 seconds to press, you can cut time under your heat press in half with this particular material. And that's not even the best part. The best part is when you talk about stacking designs and using this for a 2-color application. With this particular product, you can take the base layer of a two-color application and you can press it for only 2 seconds. Press it for 2 seconds, peel the backing warm. You give it just a couple seconds to cool down and peel the backing warm, and then you can position the foreground right on top and press it for a full 8 seconds. So a two-color layer-on-layer application does bond well together, and you can do 2 colors in 10 seconds. Compare that to brands that recommend 15 and 15, and we're talking about true cost savings, time savings, labor dollar savings in the heat press process. So we're saving you labor in the weeding, we're saving you labor on the heat press time. Also, we're saving you electricity and power consumption on the running the press at 300 degrees versus a higher temperature, if you look at it that way. We talked a little bit about this, but I wanted to show you a shot here, a photo, where some of our testing, we dropped the press down to 260 degrees, heat applied it with the cover sheet for 10 seconds, and we're able to adhere onto the polypropylene bags. These are the really heat-sensitive bags. So we do have the flexible temperature range and the lower temperature advantage. So we know about production, weeding, heat application. We know about the finished look and feel. So tell me about the price, right? How much are we going to charge you for this since it has all these other features? I want to illustrate this point before I give you the actual price, and I'm actually going to solicit your feedback on what you pay now if you're using a brand that's not a Stahls brand. So if you can do me a favor, if you have somebody else in your office, if you can have them grab an invoice from a recent purchase of a brand if you source from somebody else. I won't reveal your name or anything like that. I just want to get some prices of some roll sizes so I can do a comparison here momentarily for you. But so, world's largest manufacturer. We do sell materials direct in U.S. and Canada. We manufacture materials on 3 continents. So what does that mean? That means cost savings across all lines. So we'll show you the Premium Plus advantage, but there's other products where there's cost advantages. Also, we have quite a selection of product due to these advantages. So I'm just going to cycle through some of our manufacturing facilities just to show you some quick shots. And there's some video online of some of these facilities as well. So really, what would you expect from a manufacturer direct material? What type of pricing would you expect? So I want to do a comparison here. If anybody has a price handy, type in a roll length, a width, a brand, and a price you pay. I'll give you guys a couple seconds. While you're looking that information up, I'm going to answer a few more questions. One question here is, any larger samples available 1 yard? We've chosen not to sell this material in 1 yard pieces. Instead, we're selling it in 15 by 20 inch sheets. And I think that's actually a benefit for you because you can buy a sheet of material very inexpensively, and you can stock some of the odd colors from the 40 colors in the range. You can stock some odd colors just in sheets so you can handle that walk-in or that low quantity business, and then stock your core colors in rolls. As far as a degree blade, you'll use a 45 degree blade. If you're having problems with a 2-color design with the bottom layer shrinking, this product really does well for that, for registering the second color, because you're only keeping it under the heat for 2 seconds. Usually when you have that problem with the material shrinking, and it's tough to register a layer, if you find yourself cutting apart your foreground layer on a material, that bottom layer has been applied too long under too much heat, too much temperature, and so it's really difficult to register a foreground. This product will not have that issue. Okay, so I'm getting some prices rolling in here. I got a few different brands. If you guys can punch in some other brands. Will it work with glitter? You can put, so that's a tough question because there's a bunch of different types of glitter material. Our traditional CAD-CUT glitter is a smooth glitter finish. You can combine it over top of that or glitter on top of this. If you're using our glitter flake, which is the rough textured finish, you can use glitter flake as the foreground layer and this is the background, but with glitter flake you can't put anything on top of it and be durable. I would like to order some rolls. Somebody made their decision already. Yes, we can have a sales rep contact you. No problem. Okay, so now let's do some of these cost comparisons here. Okay, so somebody's looking for the price on Thermoflex Plus. Thank you. We'll wait on that. Okay, so here's an unnamed brand for right now. It says 15 inches by 10 yards for $70.80, and that just came in. So let me go to my cost calculator. I'm going to enter 15 inches, right, by 10 yards, and he says he pays $70.80 for the roll. First thing I want to tell you is CAD-CUT Premium Plus is sold in 20-inch wide rolls. When you order CAD-CUT Premium Plus, do yourself a favor and you order it online at CAD-CUTdirect.com. There's a 15% online exclusive discount. So let's do a 20-inch roll by 10 yards, and our price on a 10-yard roll online is $57.38. You ready for this? This automatically calculates the cost per square foot, $1.89 versus $1.15. So we're talking a 39% savings on material. Now you say I'm located in Florida. We'll talk about that momentarily as far as something we have going for delivery time. The next, I'll grab another sample. So we have somebody here that pays for a 5-yard roll. They pay 37. Whoa, I'm messing up my formula here. Give me 1 second. Okay, so 5-yard roll, they're paying $37. Let's look at, for 15 inches wide, it says it right there from Jerry. Our 5-yard roll online costs $31.03. 37% savings. So these are the advantages of buying manufacturer direct. I'm trying to see if I can get this guy. Okay, so those are some of the advantages. Now I have another statement come in that says, yeah, but I get more waste on a 20-inch wide material than I do on a 15-inch for most t-shirt size prints. So this has been an ongoing debate, and I'm telling you, from our standpoint, you talk to 100 customers, 50 of them want 15-inch and 50 of them want 20-inch, and to carry this many colors in both sizes is a really huge inventory position. So 20-inch is the size, and I think you'll notice even on our example here, even if you waste more material, the price per roll is still lower in almost every case for our 20-inch roll compared to a 15-inch roll. Like in this scenario, you see it's $6 cheaper for the roll, period, and you're getting a five extra inches, and hopefully you can gang up designs to fit that. Somebody else just wrote, I want 20 inches, give me 20 inches, gang, gang, gang. So it just depends on who you are, your setup for your designs, and it just depends. Now, Tina asked a question, how much is cuttable on the 20-inch roll? Well, that depends on your cutter, and it typically is where you place your pinch rollers on the sides of the material. Anything in between that is cuttable. So really, you probably have about 18.5 inches of cuttable area if you do 3/4 of an inch on each side for your pinch rollers. Okay, so I'm going to move on from the savings calculator here and back to the presentation, but just see, getting ahead of myself. I'm getting excited. I apologize. This one we've been working on for a long time, but we'll get to the customer loyalty discount, which is going to show you an even bigger savings if you start to roll in more products from us. Maureen says, tell these folks with all the waste from 20-inch that there are folks like me happy to take their scraps, with a smiley face. So list them on eBay. Okay, so we talked about this. We also talked about the 15 by 20-inch sheets available. What about freight? So, gosh, I have a good map here, but I don't have it. I don't have it in the presentation. I forgot to put it in. But if you look at our shipping locations, we have shipping out of Michigan and also out of Arizona. So for those of you in Washington and Oregon or Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Florida, Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Colorado, Kansas, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, all those areas, we don't reach you in 2 days, in 1 or 2 days with ground shipments. So What we've done is we just launched a new program on June 1st where when you order CAD-CUT materials from us or print-cut CAD color materials, you can now, regardless of where you're located, you can now get your shipment in 2 days for the same price as ground. So you can upgrade your shipment to second-day air for ground rates, which is phenomenal. And something I do want to say is our price on ground shipping is also phenomenal. I did a study to some of these locations. Actually, Joe that works for us did a study, and we took some rates from some of our top competitors that ship product all over the country. And we found that on average for 4 5-yard rolls, they're charging anywhere from $12 to $15 to ship that. That's to Killington, Vermont, Seattle, Washington, Houston, Texas. We took some different points around the country. With our shipment rates, we charge about $7 for that same order. So you can get it literally for half-price shipping in 2 days. So the pitch here is if you're one of those folks that get material locally and you get it next day, you can get it direct from the manufacturer. You can save 30 to 40% on your material and have it in 2 days, regardless of where you're located. Okay, I got a comment that my price per square foot looks higher. So I'm just going to go. So here's the, I just want to reference this sheet back for that. Here's the competitor's price per square foot. It's $1.97. And our price on the same roll is $1.24. So that's where the calculation's coming from. Basically, we're taking the price per yard, breaking that down to a cost per square inch, and multiplying that by 144 inches to get a cost per square foot. Okay. Something else that I'll tell you about is be sure that when you're comparing prices, break it down to the right length. So a lot of folks will have their pricing for 15 feet or 11 feet of material. Know that there's 3 feet in a yard, so you need to break it down to like lengths. And if you need help with that, you can email me with the pricing. I'll convert it over to you and show you the savings. Okay, back to the presentation here. So that's 2 days anywhere, same as ground. Do we also have savings on other material types? You bet we do. From glitter to glitter flake to electric, we've launched about 10 to 15 new effects over the last 8 months. So be sure to check the pricing. Here's the customer loyalty. This is an important part of the on top of the pricing. So you get your 15% off online discount, and then you get your customer loyalty discount. So if you do $1,500 with us a year in business, that's combined business with Stahl's ID Direct or CAD-CUT Direct, you'll qualify for a 3% trade discount, which means we look at it after a quarter, after 3 months of history, and then we add that up to a year's volume, and we prorate the discount for you. So if you do, $500 on your first order with us or in your first 3 months, you're going to get a 3% discount moving forward after we analyze that every quarter. Likewise, if you do a lot of business in heat applied films and do 20 grand, and if you move a lot of the volume over to us, you get 6%. Heat presses do qualify for the trade discount. So if you don't have a heat press yet, even if somebody's 20 bucks or 30 bucks cheaper, but you want to buy material from us, you may buy the press from us as well to put you into a really good trade discount. That's a lot of dollars towards your trade discount for the whole year and discounts for the whole year. And perhaps the most important part, and I'll come back and get some of these questions, is we have 30 plus customer service reps at our 800 line with over 450 years of combined experience. I had to double check the numbers on that because I'm like, that's crazy. But we have people that have been there for 25 plus years. I've been here for 10 years, and we're all available to answer your questions. We also have 10 regional sales reps. So if you're in one of the regions where we have a sales rep, they can come out and visit you and spend time with you, showing you the material. We have plenty of educational videos. Stahl's has been in business for 75 plus years, and it's been 20 years since we invented CAD-CUT. And actually, one of my regional sales reps, our regional sales reps here, is on the webinar, and he said, hey, Mark Schwarb here, ready to help Florida webinar attendees. Give him my phone number, 954-599-8660. So Mark's standing by to help anybody in Florida. That's his territory. But we have reps all over the country, so regardless of where you're at, we have somebody that will be able to help you. That is today's CAD-CUT Premium Plus. I mean, like I said, I'm going to come back and catch up the questions. If you have questions and want to stay on for 10 or 15 minutes, type them in. I'm going to keep answering them. But don't log off yet, because Part 2 on Thursday is going to get real interesting. So we talked about cost of materials. We talked a little bit about labor savings. But this new cost, this new price of heat-applied film, what does it mean to your business? And on Thursday at 2 o'clock, we're going to talk about how do you calculate costs with heat-applied film. We're going to talk about specifics on how much money you'll save total with Premium Plus. We have a cost calculator that we've just developed that's going to allow you to input labor values and calculate out the cost it takes to produce a garment with Premium Plus versus some other products out there. It'll also incorporate cost of material for however many layers that you're using. And then that's going to allow you to get a final number, and we'll compare with the new pricing of heat-applied films where the breaking point is for heat-applied films versus screen printing. Or should I cut my own numbers, or should I use a screen-printed transfer for the numbers? We're going to go through this stuff and talk exactly about what Premium Plus means to your business and how to utilize that. So for those of you that, one second, I need to launch a poll question here that I forgot about. This is a question that says, do you think Premium Plus will benefit your company? And what I want you to do is answer a simple yes or no. And I'm going to try to launch my first poll ever here. Hopefully everybody's seeing that. And just please take some time to answer that. If you think it'll be a fit for your business, answer yes. If you think it won't be, answer no. So far we have 60% of votes in, 65, 67, 69. 76%, you other 24%, come on, wake up. All right, we have most of the votes in. I'm going to close it here, and I'm going to share the results. Pretty compelling, huh? We got 98% of people responding, which is a large number of people who thinks Premium Plus will have an impact on your business, and that's exciting for us, and that's really why we develop products, is to obviously grow our sales volume, but to give you products that will present more sales opportunities for your business. And we firmly believe that Premium Plus is one of these game-changing products that will allow you to make more profit margin, which we'll talk about on Thursday, but also decorate more types of fabrics and show your customers superior results. So with that, if you want to check out now, please answer the survey questions at the end. You can do that. If you want to stay on for the questions I'm going to answer right now, feel free. And please be sure to sign up at greatgarmentgraphics.com for Thursday's session. So let's see. Mark's number, I'm going to repeat it. That's one question, is 954-599-8660. So once again, that's only for Florida folks. He's the guy to help you. Otherwise, you'll call our 800 number, or you can email or call me direct as well. When and where can we get the cost calculator? So that's great. From attending today, you get a copy of the cost calculator, but to really know how to use it, you'll want to be here on Thursday, and the cost calculator will go out to all the attendees after the Thursday session. From anybody that attended this one and Thursdays, you'll get the free cost calculator, which has Premium Plus in there, so you can see what that'll save you, or you can input your own brand. Somebody's booing the 2% that said it wouldn't benefit them. I just want to say there are a couple of competitor suppliers on here, so that's probably them. That's okay. I haven't been receiving the survey questions. We'll look into that. Maximum number of layers you can do and place each layer on with 2 seconds. You can stack and stack. I mean, with heat-applied film, I think a rule of thumb is, 3-4 layers, and then you're starting to get pretty thick. unless you do like a trapping method where you don't have a full background layer. But you can layer this as high as you want and keep tacking it down and then pressing the foreground. Seriously, have them list those scraps on eBay. Oh, the price on sheets, I didn't give the price on sheets. The online price on sheets is $2.98 a sheet, $2.98 a sheet. So if you compare that to some of the other companies that sell 15 inches by 1 foot, they'll sell a 15 by 12 inch piece for about $3.25. Our 15 by 20 inch piece is under $3. Time again for polypropylene bags was 260 degrees for 10 seconds. Let's see. I'll be testing a few sheets. Recommended force per particular CAD colors. Unfortunately, I don't have a recommendation for the GraphTech right now, Terry, but for the Roland, I know I'm cutting it anywhere from 120 to 140. Sheets can be stored flat or they can be rolled up. It's easier to use them if you store them flat. Can cost calculator be converted for pound for UK currency? I'll email that to our target transfers group and see if they'll be able to help us with that. Trying to scroll back through, see if I missed anything. On Great Garment Graphics, click on the schedule link, and that's where you can sign up for part 2. I do have an email address. It's I'm going to send it out to everybody right now via the questions box. It's just josh@cadcutdirect.com. And hopefully that came out to all of you. Yeah, the low temperature doesn't make it nice for garments that may have the tendency to dye migrate. This won't block migration, but with the low temperature and the low dwell time, sometimes you can prevent that before it happens. Webinar is being recorded and should be published on greatgarmentgraphics.com. I think I'm getting most of the questions here. Let me see if any last ones came in. Can you get swatches? Absolutely. How do I get samples? If you just want a free sample, it's just a small mailer sample. You can go to, I'll just type it in. It's probably the easiest way. You can go to stalls.com/pp-sample, okay? And you'll get this form. It'll come up here in a second. But write this web address down. You have to fill out your company name, etc. Tell us that you own a vinyl cutter so we know you have the ability to use the material, and type in the primary material you have now and see if we can contact you for a testimonial. This is not in the Arizona warehouse today. You know, based on manufacturing all these colors and making sure we have them in stock, we wanted to centralize inventory in our Michigan warehouse. However, you can do the 2-day shipping and the same price as ground, and we plan to have it soon in Arizona once we get our other manufacturing runs done and build up a little better inventory. But no need to worry about us getting into back order. We have plenty. We just want to keep it all in one warehouse right now. You can mix and match this with other materials. Any polyurethane film, it should be fine. It should do well on burnout garments. Shouldn't be a problem. Thanks for the compliments about the webinars and the tutorials. The sample is very small. It's like a little pre-cut piece. It's probably about the size of a dollar bill, and also applied sample the size of a dollar bill onto a garment that you can stretch. Application sheets are online on the website. Medium pressure for applications of medium pressure. And so that's the gist of the questions. Also, I had another question on a back order of certain colors of another product, and the answer is yes. There's some manufacturing backup due to demand of the super film with the CAD-CUT H2O application. So Once again, we're right on time. Ran you about 5 minutes over, let you guys get back to work, but please visit the website. You can go direct to the stalls.com/premium-plus. Feel free to post that sample link on other industry forums. I posted it on T-shirt forums, but if you're on other industry forums, that sample link and those free samples are available for a limited time. So share the word with your friends in the industry. And with that, have a great day, and don't forget to fill out the survey at the end. Take care.